So, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Dinesh. I'm presently pursuing my Master of Engineering in Mechanical Engineering from University of Wollongong. I previously completed my Bachelor's in Mechanical from University of Mahatma Gandhi University in India. Soon after completing my undergrads, I had joined a company called Pace Electronics. It's a manufacturing firm. It's a subcontract company of FCI Amphenol. What we used to make were primarily we used to make electronic connectors, and it was a manual assembly plant. So over there, my responsibilities used to be like I had to manage a team of around 6 to 7 production in charges, assembly line in charges, and primarily my role used to involve daily meetings wherein we used to discuss different quality concerns in line, different raw material issues, different machine issues, machine defects crossed, and another integral part of my work used to be addressing customer complaints. We used to get customer complaints from international companies like Huawei. Those used to be our customers like Huawei, Nokia, Samsung, and LG. So one of the important parts of my job was to give corrective actions and solve problems in line and give them a feedback as to why a particular defect happened and how it won't occur again. So this report had to be a detailed report. So involved process study and process understanding was an integral part of my job. Problem solving skill was a daily requirement for my job. And another part of my job used to be coming up with quality improvements by day-to-day interactions in line, keeping a check on defect rates, and other different aspects of production and quality. So this gives you a peek into what I have done till date and who I am.
Okay, so could you give me an example of a time when you saw the opportunity to make a process better or more efficient? What did you do and what was the outcome?
Okay. As I was involved in a scenario where problems and different situations arise up each day. So one of the examples that comes right off top to my head is as a production plant, we used to have material movement was an important part in the whole process. So there were different concerns that arise from material movement in our production plant. What used to happen was, as it was a manual assembly plant, there were different workers who fed raw materials into different automated systems and also to manual tools. So what used to happen was raw material was supplied to the line by some of the workers in the line itself. So as they were working, when the number of raw materials or plastic parts they were having decreased, they would get up from their line, move to the store and pick up the material from there and bring it to line. So there were many concerns that arise from such a situation. What used to happen was when they get up and go and take it from the store, there is a delay in line. There is a chance that the next person in the next station will not have material to process. So there will be an idle time in the line. That is a big negative, big no-no. But the bigger concern used to be that as the different part numbers, the different plastic housings are similar in shape, maybe the number of holes, the number of contacts in them might be the difference. The difference in part number would be maybe out of the 16 digits, maybe one of the digits would be the only difference. So the chance of the operator picking up a wrong material used to be high, and as the whole process was not organized and not systematic and not documented, the problem used to be that responsibility for the material movement used to be very limited. So as the quality engineer, this created a lot of problem for me because as you know, in the present modern day production, documentation and responsibility for each task is very important. And so as to address this issue, what I did was I implemented a water spider system. In water spider system, what we did was the people in the line, the workers in the line wouldn't move from their stations, and the raw material would be fed to them. To successfully do that, what I did was I delegated with the production department, and I made sure that a pre-planned list of production part numbers were given to the store, and the people in the store would organize for the raw material beforehand and secure it in a different location, And as we already know that all products are manufactured within a set amount of time, so we know the kind of the amount of material that would be required each hour or in each shifts. So when the buffer, a 20% buffer was set, so when the amount of material required in the line came below 20%, the people from store would feed it to the line, and so the responsibility was to the store person as to the correctness, the correct part number was supplied to the line, so the responsibility was ensured, the reduction of idle time was ensured. So on the whole, what we achieved from the task was, in future, till the year, for the 2 years I worked there from thereafter, it was successfully found that no other problems related to material mix-up ever occurred in the line. So that one problem was successfully removed from the line. And what I could learn from the whole outcome was, even though the problem executed and the problem came up in the mid-session of the line, the real crux of the problem was in the very beginning, the very base concept of the person moving from the line. So I learned that to solve the problem, it's not just the end that you have to look into. You have to really understand the process and analyze the process and go into the very basics of things and find a simple solution which doesn't take out much effort or much financially take away much of finance from the company. So simple efficient problem solving is something that I learned from this.
Okay. Well, this job requires you to be highly organized and manage a large workload independently. Can you tell me about time where you needed to manage your own time while meeting a tight deadline?
Yes. In a production scenario, as you would be aware, deadlines was a very integral part. As a quality engineer, I used to have daily deadlines, I used to have weekly deadlines, I used to have monthly deadlines, daily production deadlines, daily quality deadlines, weekly analysis, and monthly plant analysis. So, but one particular situation which really challenged me was, as ours was a small company, was a small subcontract company of a parent company. We did not have a separate industrial engineering department. So when the parent company decided to get a check of how the subcontract companies are improving and to ensure that they are developing into much more advanced manufacturing and quality methods, they wanted a quality improvement project to happen in all subcontract companies. So my management tasked me with the responsibility of creating a quality improvement project. I was given a time period of around 4 months to do so. But the challenge was that I was still carrying out my day-to-day responsibilities as a quality engineer at the plant, the previous roles that I mentioned to you. So I was continuing to do that as well as working on this. So initially I found it difficult because when you come up with a project, in our case there were two stakeholders. One is our management, who is going to spend for the improvements. The other is our customer, that's the parent company, who's going to receive the products, who wants to see that tangible work is being done, tangible improvements are being carried out, and not for the sake of improvements and a project. So both had to be kept in balance, and the project would be only approved if a probably successful plan was developed. So for that, what I did was, I allotted around 1.5 hours each day in my plant towards this, as in I kept 1.5 hours aside every day for this, and during that time I scheduled meetings with my production engineers and line in charges to get feedbacks from them, to bounce off ideas from them, and even found time to talk with management. And also on the weekends I used to take out around 2 to 3 hours and go to the parent company and learn different quality methods being implemented there, so as to find ways to induct those procedures into our own company. By the end of 4 months, I was able to come up with a plan that was approved by my management, and which seemed feasible, which seemed progressive and good to our customer management. And after delegation with my team, carrying out a lot of works, a lot of rigorous work hours. We completed the work, and what happened was that in the quality improvement project competition, our company came second, which this competition happens every year, and this was the first time we actually held the second position. So the outcome of the hard work was pretty successful, and the things I learned from that was proper planning helped me allot different time slots for my work, which did not hamper my day-to-day activities, as well as successfully complete the project that was handed over to me, and that was given to me. So proper planning and proper execution, with as well as team time management and teamwork. Teamwork was very integral for me, because not all the work in such a huge project could be done by me. So delegating it to the proper department was also very important. So I hope my answer this answers your question.
Yes. Okay, so that's it. So do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, I do have a few simple questions for you. Like you said that working on different projects and it's a high demanding job. So could you give me an idea as to what would be the day-to-day activities that I would be facing if I get into the role? And also, like as you are a consulting company, and I have seen like previously you have done many extension works in manufacturing plants, and those are the fields of interest to me. So could you tell me like some of the projects that are recently being worked in your company, and what would be some of the projects that I could get involved into? And also, could you tell me a possible time frame by which I could hear back from you? So I guess, thank you.